What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So unless Big Ramy or his team comes out and negates all these rumors about his comeback to the Olympia stage this year after 3 long years, every training update being posted by Big Ramy is gonna feel like that the 2 times Olympia champion is onto something. So Big Ramy was spotted pressing a fully loaded leg press machine, and it is a fact that he hasn't stopped training hard and heavy even during these past 2 years. And all that size that he has been able to hold on to. That is impressive to say the least. Now, obviously, he isn't 350 pounds as he used to be back in 2015 and 2016, but there hasn't been a drastic drop in Big Ramy's overall size. Maybe Patrick Tour will come out and reveal why it did not work out between him and Big Ramy, because it is absolutely guaranteed that for some part of last year, Big Ramy and Patrick Tour, they were working together, because Patrick himself hyped up Big Ramy and his comeback in one of the episodes of the Menace podcast. Now, if this comeback actually happens, if this becomes true, this is gonna be a win-win situation for the Pro League and also the fans and Big Ramy himself. He's gonna sell a lot of tickets. The fans love him, and there will always be a lot of money involved with Ramy's sponsors for convincing him to compete, maybe for one last time. So between the Olympia 2022 and the Arnold 2023, everyone out there was just talking about one thing: Big Ramy's stem cell treatment and how much is that gonna improve Ramy's physique in just 2 months. And the thing is, it actually did, because irrespective of what the judges saw, Big Ramy was far better at his last show, which was the Arnold, in comparison to the Olympia the previous year. Next up, we have a 6 weeks out physique update of Justin Rodriguez, who hasn't missed any Arnold since 2021, but unfortunately from the year 2022 onwards, his physique has been consistently going downhill, and 2024, that was the worst year of his entire pro career. Now this has a lot to do with his age as well, as Justin is now in his 40s, and the biggest hurdle a guy like Justin has to overcome is that the legs aren't as big as they used to be a few years back. Plus, this is a fact that he never had a small waistline to begin with, and with the age, the waist has gotten wider. Plus, he just hasn't been able to peak right since he left AJ Sims. So every single thing that could have gone wrong actually did went wrong in Justin's scenario. Now I keep mentioning this fact that the competition in men's open bodybuilding, especially the top 10 at the Olympia level, that has just gotten so much fierce, and the overall level of competition at the Olympia level, that has just gone so up that even qualifying for the Olympia, that has become such a big deal now. I mean, it was a big deal even in the past, but now it has become even more difficult. So, just a reminder, a few years ago, Justin was top 8 at the Olympia level, and last year, he even failed to qualify for the Olympia, despite doing multiple shows, and that too in kind of weak lineups. So there is no other way of putting it out there that the Arnold is gonna be such a difficult show for a guy like Justin, and Patrick Moore as well. And we all know how the media is only focused on those top 5 spots. Next up, we have a physique update from Blessing Audu. I know you really cannot judge the progress of any bodybuilder out there, especially who's carrying such a high level of body fat percentage like Blessing is carrying at the moment. But I am kind of skeptical about his overall proportions. The quads are still looking kinda behind, especially in comparison to his upper half. And if it stays that way, as Blessing starts to get lean because he's prepping for this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, that is a bad news for him and his fans, because this has been the major criticism for Blessing for all those years. And on a side note, Blessing hasn't competed since Flex Pro Italy, which was held in September of 2023. So that has been a very long off-season, more than 16 months of off-season. And ideally speaking, we should see some noticeable size improvements from Blessing, especially in his lower half, when he steps on stage after 18 months at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro. Now Blessing's legs from the side, they are looking pretty damn awesome right now, which means he's gonna be extremely competitive in those side shots. And his back is also a very strong area for him, at least in the upper half. So the most exciting thing regarding Blessing is that he has been prepping with Stefan for this one. So this is most probably gonna be his most shredded and most ripped version that we have ever seen on the stage. But Stefan has already given the verdict that Martin is winning that show, so Blessing must have a plan B. And as of right now, that is the New York Pro. So the reigning 212 Olympia champion Keone Pearson went back to the gym like a week ago after a 3 to 4 weeks break because he got that gyno surgery done. And just look at things right now, how fast the man just blew up. So this is what happens when a champ like Keone takes his off-season as seriously as he does his prep. So his current weight, that is 224 pounds, which is quite heavy for Keone, as the man is close to 200 pounds on the stage, and he stays close to 220 pounds for most part of the year. But that being said, he looks pretty damn lean as of right now. So there is just nobody taking that 212 title away from Keone anytime soon. The only way I see that happening is if Keone slips up, or if he gets injured and just doesn't show up. That is how far ahead he is of the competition right now. But we have to keep in mind the ultimate goal for Keone is to create that same kind of story as Derek or Hadi Choopan win the Olympia title in two different divisions. Right now, that doesn't seem realistic, as those guys outweigh him by more than 50 pounds, and a guy like Samson outweighs him by almost 100 pounds. But there are two important things to consider here for Keone. His aesthetics are just so damn unique that if he competed at this past Miss Olympia in the Men's Open with that same 212 package, where he barely weighed 200 pounds on the stage, the size difference between him, Derek and Hadi, that just would not look like that it is 30 or 40 pounds. And Keone as of right now is evolving. So just imagine him maintaining that small waistline, all his classic proportions, and putting on another 10 to 12 pounds of solid muscles in all the right areas. The man is gonna be a force to be reckoned with, even in the Men's Open class. And I believe he's gonna fight for Miss Olympia title one day. Next up, we have today's update from Good Vito. Now that is a type of athlete who always had a lot of anticipation behind him about getting on that bodybuilding stage, even when he wasn't an IFBB pro. He was very famous, and for the right reasons, because we rarely see that kind of size at such a young age. So based on all the progress pictures and the videos that we have seen from Good Vito this time, this might as well be a very big year for him, and he has a legitimate shot at winning his first pro show and also get his Olympia qualification for the very first time this year. Now James Hollingshead and Carlos Thomas Jr., they're gonna be standing in his way because they're also gunning for that Detroit Pro title. So we're gonna see Good Vito do multiple big shows this year, namely Arnold Brazil, as well as the Pittsburgh Pro. So Vito was hitting 300 pounds mark at the peak of his off-season, and that was a very lean looking 300 pounds. So expect to see a very impressive transformation from him this year. And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.